Russia launches rocket strikes on Ukraine, warns of clash between nuclear powers as drones hit Russian bases. Kiev, Ukraine. Russia launched a brutal counterattack this week after drone strikes targeted 3 airfields. The latest attack took place on Tuesday morning against a Russian airport just across the border with Ukraine, while 2 more attacks were carried out on Monday, when drones sent several drones to Russia. 100 kilometers invaded. Ukraine takes no responsibility, and the first offensive, which vaguely called the Russian invasion and airstrikes that began in February as karma, sparked fresh rockets from the Russian military that targeted dozens of targets in Ukraine. Rice Field. Russia is trying to demoralize Ukrainians and their military by shutting down electricity and water infrastructure. More than 70 rockets were fired in desperate attacks on cities across the country on Monday, Ukrainian officials said. Kyiv's governor said about 40% of the metropolitan area remained shrouded in darkness, but without Ukrainian missile defenses, the impact of the attack on Moscow could have been much worse. Ukrainian officials say most of the rockets launched by Russia on Monday were launched from the sky. It's still a small consolation for those who paid the ultimate price, including Olha Trozina's 2 neighbors. They said goodbye to her son and daughter-in-law, Troshina told CBS News in Kyiv. They went outside to say goodbye, but they were killed. Her house was also destroyed. Amid the missile salvo, Moscow also threw another dire warning to the US and other Western supporters of Ukraine. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, who has been close to President Vladimir Putin for decades, said NATO's support for Ukraine was a serious threat to Russia and a direct clash between nuclear powers with devastating consequences. Warned of the risk of for months, Russia has ruthlessly attacked Ukraine's civilian infrastructure, destroying homes and vital parts of the country's power grid. Putin is accused of arming the winter by plunging much of his neighbor into cold and darkness. In the southern city of Kherson, which was liberated from the Russian invasion just 3 weeks ago, volunteers have no choice but to cook over an open fire to keep people warm. 9 months of Russian occupation have obliterated any bit of normalcy in Kherson, but what Ukrainians have shown time and time again is that they will do whatever they can to help each other, and their spirits will continue to grow. It is about resisting Putin's efforts to quell it. Power workers have become a vital part of the defense effort as they restore power lines in the bitter cold and fight over unexploded ordnance that has contaminated much of Ukraine. As Moscow continues to make life difficult for Ukrainians, Putin made a rare public appearance on Monday as he drove his Mercedes across a vital bridge that serves as the only land link between Russia's occupied Crimea Peninsula and mainland Russia. Did not appear on the scene. It is a bridge that was wrecked by a big explosion 2 months ago. Ukraine also declined to publicly claim responsibility for the blast on Tuesday after 2 military bases about 300 miles inside Russia were hit by drones. Again, Kyiv officials blamed karma for the explosion, making it clear that everything that happened in Russia was Vladimir Putin's fault, not Ukraine's.